Who will come out on top? Ready. Fight!
Stop, stop, stop. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, you're not in the game. No, no. Yeah, corporate decided that you guys are not in the game anymore, so go on, go. And you two, yeah, well, thanks, you got the memo, you know, 2-on-2, so, excuse me, leave? Yeah. Alright, so I guess Captain America, you be on this side and you guys will fight and I'll find 2 more to back you up later, alright? A little less exciting, but I honestly, I don't know. Let's get this thing started, let's go.
Fight! Charging star! Take this! Yeah!
Hey guys, in the 6 years it's been since my Marvel vs. Capcom 3 review, I have dived deep into fighting game mechanics, game terms, strategies, and really, in my opinion, have become much more knowledgeable about what makes a fighting game beyond just a casual player, even though I probably still fight one-on-one at a casual level. But I've had to do all this because I've been developing my own fighting game. So, after a long wait in one of my favorite franchises, we finally get the 4th game. Does it improve on the 3rd? Did our feedback get taken into consideration? Well, just look at my face. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a bit of a disappointment for me. It's actually slightly improved in some of the areas that I was critical of in MvC 3, including many of the things that I asked for. It's there, but it chooses to change things up once again with mixed results. I love the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise and I want nothing but the best for it. But unfortunately here, I'm gonna have to show some tough love. Like, who the hell is this game made for? It doesn't seem to be made for a fan of the MvC series, as it strips out a lot of what made the series crazy lately in favor of casuals, going from complex button layouts to simple, fast gameplay to slower gameplay, 3-on-3 insane matches to curving it back to 2-on-2 that we haven't seen since the original. It even removes and reduces favorites from the roster. Where is Deadpool? Where are the Fantastic Four? Actually, I'm okay without them, but the X-Men, not including the friggin' X-Men, is downright unforgivable.
So I saved over 33% in licensing fees by getting rid of the X-Men. I know, yeah. Old Fox wouldn't want to play ball, so that's why. Right? What? Greg! Can you hear me? What is going on at ground level? What is that, Commander? Oh, God! I know this! Let's go. Security! Security! Oh, God! Security! Stop him! Oh! Stop him! I got him! Stop! I got him! Stop! Okay. Hey, movie. Let's talk about this. I'll put you in the next one, okay? No,
Berserker Barrage!
Instead, there's too many questionable characters on the roster here, especially on the Capcom side.
Big guy, they're just taking a nap.
This guy? Everybody's like,
Stark? Spencer?
Who's that guy?
Nice weapon, Lancelot.
Spencer? He doesn't even
Compensating
acknowledge
for
Spencer.
something?
He acknowledges
Only
the
your
little dude.
foolishness.
Fuck you, Spencer!
F you, Spencer. Why'd they give a Spencer at the... There you go.
Spencer? Spencer! Really? Bionic Commando. Who asked for Spencer? Who? I could tell you 15 other really awesome Capcom characters that deserve inclusion before him. How about Asura? So it must be built more for the casual this time around, right? Well, it seems so with the addition of the easy hypers, the new auto combo system where if you spam X, you too can look like a friggin' badass.
Alright, I got his weakness. You start on his head, you come down, and you go up. The computer can't handle it. It's just a basic combo. You gotta use basic combos on Hulk.
You son of a bitch!
That's how it's done. That's how it's done.
And surprisingly, I actually like this system a lot. Look, I'm not a fighting game snob. I love the inclusion. It makes this fighting game in particular the most accessible in ages, and it allows casuals as well as the hardcore to focus on other aspects of their game.
You must be funny. Oh yeah,
That's how you take
when that
care
move hits.
of the ladies, man.
when that move hits.
You got to show them who's boss.
Damn, Joe, you whipped her ass. Literally.
That's what I'm here
By
for.
what
literally
power do you
whipped
dare command me, mortal?
There are other combos that you need to learn that aren't auto. A better player will still beat the hell out of a button masher. And you know what? If you don't like it, you can always turn it off. So those are great additions. But if it is truly for a casual or a completely new audience at the detriment to its current fan base, then why are the other aspects of the game so incomplete? There is a serious lack of extras compared to a NetherRealm fighting game or even Capcom's most recent fighting game, Street Fighter V. It does have this franchise's first story mode that I said would be required this time around in Marvel vs. Capcom. Thank God! However, it opts for a disappointing storyline combining the really cool Ultron with Sigma, of all people, the baddie from Mega Man X.
Buzz Lightyear.
What the fuck is that? Like, seriously. That is Buzz Lightyear.
That's Buzz Lightyear.
So you have all these great bosses to choose from in the lore with this cross-franchise game, you know, Akuma being one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, Ryu's Dark Hado being a power that even Thanos values in order to maybe kill death itself. You know, Dante's demonic ties being world-ending threat levels, and you go with Sigma, a silly-looking Ultron Sigma that turns into a ridiculous-looking Ultron Omega?
Oh, Jesus.
Spidey the Stone! I'm on it!
Alrighty then. This boss is so funny looking.
You couple that with hideous character models sometimes, with characters looking like Rob Liefeld parodies of themselves.
Start again.
God damn, Captain America, lay off that fucking juice. He's going crazy
man,
with that
it's
super
gorgeous.
serum.
I need some of that shit.
I will release you from Ultron
that's
Sigma's
right.
grasp.
You ugly,
Die
dude.
trying.
What happened?
Boy.
Thor hit every ugly branch down the ugly tree.
As if they're all pumped up on ridiculous amounts of steroids. Trust me, Chun-Li, it feels fucking great. Watch this. Look at my strength and power out. Do me right now. Yeah. Now you want one? You want? Oh, nice. Please. And I doubt this is gonna catch the attention or the eye and impress the casuals, who otherwise wouldn't usually play fighting games without a good story mode or these extras.
I sense such desire in you. A fire.
For justice, for retribution.
Orphan me.
What, there's two of them? Sold! Sold! Take me, I'm yours.
No.
You've got to admit that the game has a pretty poor initial presentation. It's bare bones and lacking once again in these areas. The extras are missing, and no, putting in each individual's character spoken lines into the game does not really qualify as an extra, okay? It just smacks of laziness.
I shall fight. I walk the path of the hot coming. You precide almost. I'll cooperate. I still. Oh, Gamora! I look forward to the battle.
Sure, we get your standard versus practice versus CPU and arcade modes, but these are bare minimum requirements for fighting games these days. And with no innovations to any of these modes, I can't give much credit here. In fact, I could give negative credit. The arcade mode in particular supports my laziness argument, as there's not even an end screen for beating arcade mode with any character. In MvC 3, the end screens were terrible. Here, they are non-existent.
He had a max 4. I wonder why he didn't use it.
Congratulations!
Yeah! They flipped the screen for me. When I won. Alright, what did we get?
And in order to unlock the 2 alternate colors for your characters, you're gonna have to go and do those 7 matches all over again, and again, and again, for no good reason.
We will end everything!
Oh, fuck!
Inferior creature! You dare fire!
Whoa!
Continue.
Well.
As far as online goes, it's as basic as it comes. The lobby system is super simplistic, missing most of the features expected by now, but hey, at least there's still spectate mode, right?
Oh, shit! I thought he got me. Oh, I got my heart beating, y'all. Wow! 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 My heart was beating. Man, couldn't have lost my first online game. I was dropping it hardcore. I was just freaking out. I shouldn't have won.
The only new addition here is a beginner's league that helps players rank up through 15 levels that they have here on the global rankings. And it does feel a lot more clear to me how good I am versus everybody else, and it's a fun way to advance up those ranks. And, you know, it just feels like a global tournament. It's great. And thankfully the netcode has been solid, and I've not really played in any excessively laggy games. It's far away and above better than MvC3's launch. Though in both online and offline modes, during character intros, the lip syncs often don't work right, or at all in certain instances.
You've got guts, I'll give you that.
I'm not in this for the glory, just to stop the likes of you.
If you even act the slightest bit evil, you know what I'll do.
Get in my way, and I'll put you down.
I won't back down, no matter who shows up.
I hope you won't object if I take the lead in this battle.
Who will come out on top? Ready!
Stages lack interactability, if that's a word, you know, outside of story mode where bosses can like shoot stuff at you. Something, you know, new like this. Interacting with the terrain would have at least been exciting to talk and share about, but there's nothing here but the core fighting mechanics itself. Which is why I personally believe that this version isn't likely to have a long life or have legs under it for a long time. I think people will eventually stop playing this in favor of, hell, you know, the upgraded MvC3 or MvC2, or even go back to recent fighters from Capcom a week or two later, which is a real shame. Because honestly, I actually like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite a lot. The core fighting gameplay, I mean. It's instantly playable for someone who really appreciates and loves fighting game mechanics.
Fight!
So he might end up my favorite character because I love guns so much, even though he has no business fighting here.
They should just put Punisher.
1, 2, here's another day down.
But because of all of the game's puzzling shortcomings, it's extremely difficult for me to recommend it to anyone else out there besides forgiving casual fighting game fans.
Gamora!
Itching for a fight.
Hawkeye! Now only one team will be left standing.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
It's a shitty team.
Team is shitty.
We're trying new people, right? Shut your mouth. Gotta upload all the graphics and shit. It's the glasses. That's what it is.
It's still going. Oh my God. Holy fuck. Oh my God.
Now,
it goes to
now loading. What the fuck are we doing for?
Hardcore fans too, maybe, but they're gonna have some serious gripes, and I don't blame them one bit. And outside onlookers are probably gonna laugh at the character models and the story cutscenes.
I'm distract you with my sexiness.
Oh, I'll fucking shoot you from across the screen.
What the fuck? To break it?
The load times suck. Wow. Reality. We need the time stone. Time and space.
But if you actually get deep into the mechanics and the game flow, you will find that core gameplay to be still solid and extremely fun, insane, even more so now for your average skill level player than ever before.
Oh shit, Frank West is a character?
The plunger! Hit him with the plunger!
Oh! I hit him with a plunger. Get out of here.
Is that a pie?
Wow, his moveset is kind of cool. Unique.
It's interesting.
I
like that.
But thankfully, when you actually play each, you realize their mechanics are still extremely entertaining. Some of the animations and moves are the same. And what it does is it contributes to insane battles that now include these stones, which is another strategic layer to battles with unique abilities to do things like trap your opponents in specific places, or allow your fighter to move faster or do more damage in combos. It is all an insane amount of fun. It becomes an instinct to just launch your partner out there. It's up to how much you're willing to pay for a fighting game experience. This feels like an old school fighter that would have been fine or even amazing 10, 15 years ago for what's on offer here. But Capcom seems to be painfully late to the modern fighter, and it seems to still be playing catch up, especially in this franchise only. If all you care about is fighting in the fighting game, you might find some value here. But for the rest of the fighting game community, you can't help but be disappointed a little bit on what's on offer here. And even hardcore fans of the franchise are gonna be puzzled at some of the decisions. And this is why the final verdict comes in at a 6 out of 10. It is slightly above average. It is a solid fighting game with a large roster, 30 characters, some disappointing DLC, that tries to take a few steps further than its predecessors. It's got a real story mode that mixed results. It's got more accessible fighting mechanics and a new Infinity Stone gameplay, but it ends up as a mixed bag, or some of these new additions are lacking in presentation and extras and polish. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to keep waiting, see if there's a better version coming out soon, and yeah, it needs to be a little bit more here for what fighting game fans expect in 2017. Until then, guys, I'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. As long as I got it on. Okay, pull me back. Good. And then stop. And then pull it back. Alright. It worked. Alright. So I guess Captain America just...
Yeah, no, I watered. Just open the baggie. Fuck no. Fucking legs hurt.
Get your leg up high! God damn it! Sorry.
You'll rip my groin!
I sprayed it everywhere.
Yeah, you did. You ruined your star.
Fuck. That's what happens when you do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, you become stronger. Oh, yeah.
I mean, drugs. Even though I became a super soldier to do drugs, don't do drugs. All right.